So let's go to Imola. A lot of teams brought update packages and a lot of things. But let's start with this. Mercedes have just lost their chief aerodynamicist. That's in person of Chino Vino. It has been confirmed that he has left, as Jerome D'Ambrosio and Loic Serra also left. Now, remember the banter between the Mercedes chief, McLaren chief, and Chris Horner about who is leaving, who has left, who is not leaving. And it's getting funny because we are seeing from Mercedes, people are leaving. Where are they going to? We don't know yet. Andrea Newey has opened up to working with another team after his leave of rest, which has started already, but his leave of rest has not taken him away from work. But I think he will work till the end of this year. The first part of next year he won't work. He will take some great leave and then he will now move to another team, as he has suggested that he wants to get on with the experience and move to another team. So it's going to be interesting where he's going to. We don't know yet, but I think by the end of the year we should know. Carlos Sainz has not moved yet. We don't know what he's up to. His time is ticking. Alex Albon has resigned for Williams, and people wonder why for that weak team. Now it's better for Williams than he does not have a team at the end of the day, because if he's still eyeing that Red Bull seat, I am telling you 100%, Red Bull don't have him in mind. He himself knows. Red Bull are looking outside the box for a second driver, except Max Verstappen leaves. Now he is also putting Red Bull in a precarious situation that, let me resign for another team that is weaker, then I'm still under Mercedes, let me see what you guys will do. So it's a game of who can play it better. Getting tough. Now on upgrades, like I told you, Red Bull are bringing upgrades. So they brought upgrades to Imola. They brought the front wing, the floor edge, the rear corner, the nose and floor body. Also, the upgrades that Ferrari have brought, we've confirmed that they brought the rear suspension, the diffuser, the floor edge, the coke engine cover, the side pod inlet, front wings and rear wings. The McLaren have brought some few things, track specific, rear wing and beam wing, track specific. Mercedes have brought some upgrade kits again. Aside from the one they brought in Miami, they brought the floor fences, the floor body, the rear wing, the beam wing and front corner. That beam wing is one of the things they've been working on to adjust or to balance their rear suspension. Now, the Aston Martin have brought the front wing, the nose, the floor body, the floor fences, the floor edge, the diffuser, the coke engine cover and rear suspension. The Aston Martin are parrying. They are like they don't want to be left behind, so they brought a lot of upgrades. The As too brought the front wings, the end plate, the rear suspension, the rear corner also. They brought some other track specific also. Now the Alpine have brought the floor edge, just trying to keep a balance to know how far they've gone or how far they've improved. Stake brought the floor fences. The Williams brought the floor body. That is what they brought. Let me break it down for you better. Now, some of these updates are performance related for Red Bull. The front wing is for performance, the floor edge performance, rear corner is circuit dependent, the floor body is performance, and the nose is performance. So for those that are saying Red Bull are good, they are intelligent, they are this, they are that, Red Bull are bringing performance upgrade, which means they know they are not close. They need to bring something to fight, because from what happened in Miami, they themselves know that they have messed up. They are trailing behind, and if teams like McLaren and Ferrari should bring upgrade, it will be a difficult space for them. Now Ferrari have brought upgrade. Now looking at the FP1, we can see that the Mercedes are showing quite some pace and Ferrari are showing real pace. Now we saw in FP1 the Red Bull were struggling. They were really struggling, especially when they are trying to set better times. They are struggling. The rear end is not balanced. They are not comfortable, especially for Max Verstappen. He's not comfortable on braking. When he's braking late, he is missing the apex, he's missing the corners, he's missing the everything. Is just not well balanced for him. Now they need to work it out in FP2 to create a better balance on the car. This is just FP1. They will try and find some decent time to improve, like Mercedes trying to find decent time to improve, because this upgrade looks like it's taking them places. And also for the Ferrari, the upgrade they've brought looks decent. It looks pacey. They are comfortable. They let practice one with Mercedes coming behind them and the Ferrari also coming again. The McLaren looks off here, but I know with some touches, some little things they will do, they will be able to come on par. The vehicle is still looking pacey in the hands of Yuki Tsunoda, but the FP2 is really going to show us where the upgrades are and who is still on top. Yeah, we cannot take it away from the Red Bull. They are the benchmark. But here we are having the Ferrari showing some decent agility, some decent pace, showing that they've not just upgraded, they are good on time. They can create something, they can be better, they can match up with the speed of the Red Bull is going to be very, very interesting in FP2, and it's going to be very, very interesting in the remaining practice session and qualifying for the weekend, because we are going to see a lot of drags, a lot of teams dragging. This is what we really want to see. We want to see it till the end of the year, not that just one team will just be in the front and that is it. We want to see competition at the apex, competition in the midfield, and at the bottom end of the table we want to see the competition. We want to see how these guys are giving themselves some decent fights. And Oliver Bierman also came in us to make his track debut for us this year. His track feeling for us this year as he filled in for Kevin Magnussen in us, and he showed some decent pace. Better job for him this morning with us showing decent pace with the upgrade, and we'll see as these teams tune up their upgrades and come up better in the FP2. Let's wait for FP2 and see what these teams will do. It's going to be very interesting. So yeah, watch out. So FP2, we can see a lot of improvements on the Ferrari, especially with the new updates Ferrari have brought. The upgrades are showing good signs of improvement on the Ferrari. And on the Mercedes, you can see they are really showing decent pace, especially on the other tires. The Mercedes are showing decent pace. However, the Red Bull tends to be suffering, especially with Max Verstappen. They've shown some glimpses of durability, greatness, but it still shows that they are still far off from where we believe Red Bull should be. Also, in the hands of Piastri, coming with the full upgrades on his car, we can see that he's showing decent pace, but Lando Norris is still struggling. Maybe they are running on different setups. Although we know all the cars will be running on different setups, Aston Martin is not really showing what we expect to see from them. Likewise, us also. We expect us to be closer to the V-Cab with the upgrades they've brought, or the Alpine, but they are not looking closer. Williams are just nowhere this weekend because they thought whatever they brought will work, but the Williams are still far off. They lack money for development and they are just trying to manage the little resources they have. But in all, the Ferrari, the McLaren and the Mercedes are the front runners for now, showing decent pace, with the Red Bull struggling all through the FP1 and FP2. And there are lots of complaints about how undrivable and so many uncutted words that Max Verstappen is churning out about the car. So what would the team do to make sure this car is ready for him to drive in FP3 and in qualifying? For me, looking at the pace difference, it shows that these cars are very close, though they will still find some dents. In the past weekends, it's very difficult for Ferrari to close up in qualifying, but in race simulations they look better. But will they be able to close up in this qualifying? They look like they are a car that will close up in qualifying, and they are looking like a car that might win the race. Apart from it being their home race, they've invested a lot, and I think it's going to be a very interesting race. And I can tell you, it's a race between the Ferrari, the McLaren and the Red Bull. The qualifying, I can tell you, is the qualifying between the Ferrari and the McLaren and the Red Bull also. But who will be on top? I believe Ferrari seems to be on top, not because of the decent pace they have shown in the early part of the qualifying, but I think they've shown decent pace in the early part of qualifying, and their race pace is also great. The race pace of the Mercedes is bangingly great also. But I think these teams are going to race closely, but it looks like it's still in the hands of the Ferrari this weekend. Let's see how Ferrari will perform this weekend with the upgrades they've brought, and with the greatness of Ferrari. I think Ferrari is going to do a great job, and it's going to be a very beautiful race to watch. But let's gear up for FP3 and qualifying tomorrow. But who are your cards on? My own cards are on Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull. And in the race, my cards are still on Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull. Mercedes might be a surprise in the pack, but from what we are seeing, the upgrades have not really shown on Aston Martin and us. So in summary, Ferrari had a good day today. The FP1, FP2, they topped the time sheets. The Mercedes had a good day today. They have been tremendous with their upgrades, and we don't know if it will turn out good for them tomorrow. You know, Mercedes, one practice work, one practice don't work. A day work, another day don't work. Maybe these upgrades have been able to solve that. The McLaren had a pretty day because they've been fast since China. I said that in one of my podcasts. McLaren had been fast since China. Now bringing upgrades in Miami, they've been fast. Now that leaves us with Aston Martin and Red Bull. Aston Martin, the upgrades, we don't know where they are with the upgrade. They had a complaint with Mercedes about their rear that is not giving them what they want, so they decided to get new rears. Is that working for them? We don't know yet. But for RB, they were everywhere. Like I said today, they cannot find their rhythm, their balance. They were just a lot of complaints. So let's see tomorrow where they will be, if it will favor them or not. But it's going to be a whole close race, a whole interesting race. Like I told you in my last video after Miami, I told you I don't see Red Bull winning this race. I see Ferrari or McLaren winning this race, and especially Ferrari. But I still top it for Ferrari and McLaren, yeah, and Red Bull, because Mercedes have been inconsistent. But let's see what happens in the FP3 and qualifying, because their long run pace The McLaren are showing decent pace on long run. The second best team on long run are the Ferraris. The third best team are the Mercedes, while the Red Bull are the fourth best team. So it's all mixed up. But after the FP3 qualifying, we should be able to give you better analysis of what is going on and how it's going to go down. But thank you guys. So let's see how these teams will fare and how they will perform. Up until tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.